All right, what's up, boys? We're doing good. Trade's still doing really good. ETH usually tends to react a lot better to the price action than a lot of other things like Bitcoin, which can be a little more volatile. Believe it or not, just because ETH is so ridiculously underrated that a lot of times. So, anyways, our trade's going stupid well. So let's go back into the charts. This is Bitcoin. Looks like it hit. I told you guys how good this thing is. Look how perfect that is. I like why people don't use Fibonacci channels. Again, it literally comes down to education more than anything else. Look how perfect that is. Boom, boom. Like I said, it's all about the education. It's not that Fib channels aren't the move, it's that most people just don't know how to draw them. And they don't know how to use them. So I mean, if you want like not just what people know, but everything capable of technical analysis on top of the fundamentals behind why we use it, gotta sub to the channel. I'm telling you, this is one of a kind. You're just not gonna get this information anywhere else. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. Let's see. Market Cipher is not printing a bottom, but it looks like it's going to potentially start printing a bottom. You do have this sell signal. It's on the 1 hour, so it's not everything. And then it looks like we could potentially be testing that area. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. We'll see how that works. Again, the touch point is on the 4 hours, so if it's not on the 1 hour, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We are good. Looks like we do have a little bit of, we have a few things to go over. First and foremost, let's go to, I think it is the 4 hour that we need to be looking at. Yeah. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Comes in right here. What do we got? Double top. Looks like a double top. Not like extremely, I mean, this is going to be the top right here. This is going to be the neckline traditionally. Like you can measure it from like, yeah, this is really where the neckline would be. I was going to say you could incorrectly measure it from a different place, but there's not even anything that really makes sense. It looks like the move played out most likely. Let's take a look at it. And if you're newer and you want me to, and you like have a question like how is that a double top or what does it look like or what exactly, just ask me. I'll help you. But it looks like it played out and then it looks like it just kept dumping. Let's see. And then there was also on the 1 hour we were starting to see a downtrend. Let's take a look at the 1 hour. So technically you could put a fib up against this 1 hour on this downtrend, potentially. It looks like it might have broke out of this pattern, and that's where really on the macro charts where this really comes into play. So there's a lot of things to go over, but if you really zoom out right here, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, we're very still clearly in an uptrend, very clearly still in an uptrend. This level is by far higher than this level. This level. So really what I want to see is if we can hold this level or potentially, yeah, because we found support at this level. Now this support flipped resistance idea, which I'm about to go over, it's not extremely strong. So, and Market Cipher isn't saying that this is the bottom. It's saying that it's a potential bottom, but it's not confirmed yet. So essentially what you have right here is price action comes up like right here, price action comes up right here. And then you notice as price action is coming up right here, if I go on the x-axis and I keep the same y-axis, you now have support. So what it looks like is resistance, resistance, it breaks through the resistance, it comes up, consolidates, and then hits that same area as support. So it's a resistance flip support idea. It would be extremely bullish. It would be extremely bullish if we held this support and continued higher. So that's really what we're looking for. As we break these levels right here, we could potentially find support, at something like this, and a lot of what we'd be looking at is we'd pull up this bad boy right here, VPR support, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of support, VPR support, below these levels right here. So really what I want to see on the 1 hour is holding that support level. That would be extremely bullish. All right, let's go to ETH. Because I think we'll go over one more chart. Because I did put most underrated channel on the internet. All right. So we did, it looks like, bounce off of this golden fib area right here. Nice closes. We're back above it. Extremely bullish. Like I said, this area is absolutely critical. If we go below this area, this would basically be us dropping the fib level, and it would just be, we would have to break above, like, at least the golden pocket. We would have to, do a bunch of stuff, like technical analysis stuff, like probably have to like consolidate up for a little bit, break above this level right here. It would just be a headache if if this support doesn't hold. We'll see what happens, but if this support holds, incredibly bullish, incredible opportunity. So that's what we're looking at. Let's see. So that's on the 1 hour, and then that's I think that's all we have on this chart is really that fib level. Oh, and then we have these, and these are Fibonacci retracement levels of golden pockets, and it looks like, so that's what these are. This is like a 618, this is 618, this is 618 from different measurements, and it looks like it hit our, which was supposed to be support, but obviously it broke down, and now it's resistance. So resistance on that fib level, which is why we have it pulled up. Like I said, when you understand technical analysis and you can like call like all the price action and everything starts to make a lot of sense, it's a lot of fun. All right, so that's Coinbase. Did we already go over Bybit's perpetual contracts? Yeah, and then Coinbase, Bybit. Then there should be one on Femex, or not Femex. There should be one on Bittremex, whatever you say. And it looks like we did actually call this yesterday. It looks like, because we had this double bottom idea right here. The neckline for it was right here. There was this wick right here, and really, we have this double bottom right here, and it looks like it ended up playing out as a triple top. Breaks the neckline very clearly. As soon as the neckline breaks, we tank again once we break this wick, because what did I say about this wick right here? We're going to go down more if this wick breaks, because that sets a lower low, and again, it's just looking at it from different chart perspectives. So again, if this holds, this is good, but we were expecting this yesterday. It looks like it played out, and really what we're looking at right now is what this really tells me, because like I said, anybody can tell you double tops, triple tops. You really have to be an analyst technician, and to be a really good one. You need to interpret the information, and the fact that we had this double top right here, and the fact that we didn't drop down to this potential measured move right here, because there were two measured moves, and we do this a lot because it's very important, and different traders are going to take positions at different levels. So obviously we're going to give you both measured moves so you have all the information. And the fact that it didn't play out this second measured move right here means that Bitcoin found support, which we saw in the other graphs, which was very important, very bullish. This is looking like a good reversal. We'll see. It's looking good. I just want to see a little more volume. But the fact that it didn't hit this second measured move is extremely bullish. It's basically showing that the bulls have a lot of momentum. All right, let's take a look at BTC.D. Bitcoin dominance. Let's see how the alts Let's see how Bitcoin's doing. Dang, look how perfect it is. It just rides it, comes up, rides it, touches it perfectly. This ain't no joke, smokers. So, like, this is the golden pocket right here. I told you guys this is the golden pocket. What I want to see is I want to see it break this level right here. And then if it breaks this level right here, then we would potentially hit this level right here for a ginormous double bottom idea. Potential reversal. We didn't get that. We broke through this golden pocket area right here. We came down. And so obviously, once we broke this golden pocket, we were like, okay, the price action is going to come down. What we want to see is we want to see a break of this. That's going to give us an early warning sign into breaking this neckline right here and heading higher. Or this isn't a neckline. This would be the neckline right here. This is the last wick for this for us to set a higher high in the immediate short term, which would be a reversal. So very important stuff to look at on BTC.D. Let's go to Ethereum. Our boy ETH. We're killing trades over in Ethereum. Just absolutely murking them. Looks like it found support again at this fib level that we drew out. Looks good. Looks like it bounced off of this fib level, came down, hit this fib level, bounced off. Super good. This is what we were looking at. This is what we were looking for. It looks like, it did break all-time highs again yesterday, so I'm just going to redraw it so that it's appropriate swing high, swing low. Looks like it's still above the Fibonacci retracement. You want to see some hyper bullish activity. Let's zoom in. What do we got? This is cracking. All right. What we want to see is we want to see a bounce off this fib level, and it looks like we got it perfectly right here. You can see right here, this is the top, this is the 718. It looks like we bounced off of this level perfectly. Again, these coins are looking good. If you clicked on this channel because you're like pump or dump, like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Like, I'm afraid it's going to go down. I'm telling you guys, the support levels could break. Like, there's nobody that could ever say that a support level could not break. But until this support level breaks, these charts are looking gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Yes, we're in uptrends on all this. So we're in an uptrend. So you have a high, higher high, low, higher low. Really what we want to see is a higher. If we break this level right here, so put this right here, put this right here, put this right here. This is really the line we're looking at. If it breaks this level right here, huge. Not a double bottom idea. You could say it's a W pattern. It's just not really proper. Just because when you have the price action come in from the bottom, and then it bottoms once, bottom twice, and that's a double bottom, so it's not technically a double bottom. We went over this inverse head and shoulders, the fact that it played out more than what it was supposed to, just bullish, continuation of the uptrend. It just looks so freaking good. And then we have all these fib circles. It's all looking good. Doesn't look like a lot of, really what this is showing more than anything is that it doesn't look like there's a lot of resistance at these areas. Like when you go up, not a lot of resistance. These are lines to draw different like fib arches, fib webs, different things, or fib wedges. So we're looking good. And like I said, you need those fib circles, those fib arch, those fib fans. They're very reliable. You need them to dictate the price action along with yeah, I mean, those are really the only thing you can do when you break all-time highs, because what else are you going to measure as overhead resistance? So I don't know why other channels aren't doing it as much. We've seen multiple times that they're extremely accurate. And then, yeah, it looks clear sky breakout right here. We could potentially come down to this level right here. That wouldn't be good necessarily, because that would break our fib level, but we could hit this level, break the fib level, hit this level right here, bounce off of it as support, and then it looks like again, what this really more than anything shows you is that we can come all the way up to, break all-time high right here, be extremely bullish, and have no resistance. It's not like there's a channel overhead like right here. Work with me, TradingView. Come on. We got to teach them. All right, so potentially right here you come up, if you were to come up this way, you'd have this, you'd have this, you'd have this, you'd have multiple levels to break through. Right here, we can just go straight up. So it's looking good. All right. So that's that. What else we got? So that was Kraken, Coinbase, Bybit, Gorgy, straight Gorgy. I told you guys these lines were important. Don't play with me. Just every chart we go over, it's like everything that I talk about is always so relevant. And it's like these charts have been up. I posted these yesterday. So again, what we were looking at here is potential. When you look at this right here, resistance, resistance, resistance. Price action comes up, hits it as support, finds that support level. There's support levels. If you look at this, if you're keeping an eye on this, you go and you don't move the y-axis, you just go through the x-axis. There's a lot of support right here, support, or resistance, resistance, and then that flips support. It finds support at this level, hits a nice wick, bounces higher. I would like to see a resistance flip support idea right here. But again, as you're looking at, keep an eye on keep an eye on this point, keep an eye on this point as I'm moving the x-axis. Look you have this resistance right here. So this is very clearly this resistance, 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 flip, support, 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 and we're heading higher. Again, every chart that I've gone over is obviously 100% accurate, and then it's also showing that everything is bullish as long as we can hold this support level. If we can't, I'll go over that and I'll keep you guys updated. So you need to sub if you need this information. If you need to know what's going on in cryptocurrency, you got to sub so that you can be updated. That's literally the best advice I could give you. Not financial advice, but just like if there's just nowhere on the internet that you're gonna find like somebody going over 3 different charts all on the same thing. All right, so let's go over ADA real quick. You guys know I love ADA. Let me make sure I'm still streaming. Make sure everything's good. Yeah, we're still streaming. All right. ADA looking pretty decent. Get that fib, looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Is that volume or is that a wick? No, it's volume. Okay, looks good. I want to, you guys know what I want to see, and this could potentially look very bearish for ADA, at least in the short term. I want to see a momentum wave that's higher than this momentum wave for it to be bullish. Now this is higher, so this is good right here, and then as you see that, you obviously see the continuation. You set a high and then a higher high on this, very bullish, a little bit bearish. Again, I want to see another wave to continue this. It looks like it's finding really good support on this moving average right here. You can clearly see right here, breaks through this moving average, still finds support, super good. And then this is just obviously a very obvious uptrend. And so really what you're looking for obviously is you just want to break that higher high. If you break that higher high, it's going to go up obviously more. And then obviously you want to just consecutively set lower or higher lows. She's going up quick. We have so much ADA, but like I said, I hate that. I wanted more ADA. Let's see what your question is. Great question. I love the question. Is Kraken a decent place to buy ADA? So Kraken, you can buy ADA, yes. is it a decent place to buy ADA? To answer your question, I'm really gonna treat this with, so I'm gonna give you the full answer. So if you want the best like price, so like if you're buying a massive amount of it and you don't want to spend a lot of money on like the fees because you're gonna be spending money on fees. If you don't want to spend money on fees, Binance US, or if you're not in the United States, Binance, those are going to have some of the lowest fees to buy Cardano. As far as the safest place to buy it would probably be around crypto.com, crypto.com, Kraken, or potentially Gemini would probably be some of the safest places to get it. Probably crypto.com or probably Kraken would probably actually be the safest. They're a United States based company. So if you want the lowest fees, Binance US. If you want, more security. So it really comes down to preference. Like I always say, like back when I was in stocks or even with crypto right now, when you're looking at different brokerage accounts, because this is a brokerage account selling you these tokens, they all have advantages and they all have disadvantages. The main places you can buy ADA is going to be crypto.com, Kraken. I don't know if Gemini has Cardano just because I haven't used Gemini. And Binance are going to be the biggest ones, the best ones potentially. I know like Femex or not Femex, Bittremex, however you say it. I'm pretty sure that I saw them have it because I had an account with them for a little bit, but I don't like Bittremex at all. So yeah, I would recommend one of those three. Me personally, I buy it on crypto.com. It's just that I used to buy it on Binance, like not Binance US. I used to have a VPN and buy it on Binance. And then Binance kicked me off because they were getting in trouble with the SEC. I'd probably go Binance US or Kraken. But me, I buy it on crypto.com just because it's easy for me to use. But I've talked to a lot of new guys and they say that they have difficulty with it. But with any exchange, it's going to be, it just depends. Like, oh snap, this is live. That's funny. Will it be ever added to Coinbase? There's a lot of rumors that it's going to be added to Coinbase, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be added to Coinbase anytime soon because we always see that, and like we always see the hype for that. Like that's been going on since forever, and it's never played out so far. Are we going to see a downtrend on Cardano? I want to buy more, but looking for another good time to get in. So you guys know that on this channel, Cardano is my by far favorite crypto, and I'll go back to Cardano. And I was getting in heavy around 10 cents, and then we were riding some really good uptrends, and we just got absolutely killer freaking prices. We're already 8x up since we bought at 10 cents, but it's just going up so freaking quickly. So there's like for example, right here we called this breakout right here. We had this consolidation, breaks out, hits this fib, breaks above this fib, retested support. There's a lot of good ideas as far as like where the price action was going to go. So what I would do is I would take a Fibonacci retracement, and there's just a few ways of looking at this. Like I said, like just it's not drawing any patterns. Like it's not drawing like a head and shoulders. It's not drawing any like patterns. Really what it is, like if you look at this is obviously clearly an uptrend. And so what I said is you want to have clearly low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So we want it to just like continue in its uptrend. And then obviously it's going to be really good if it breaks this level right here. What I'm doing personally is because this would continue, this would set a higher high, and it would just continuate the uptrend, which is really the only pattern that's valid right now. That's really the only thing to be looking at. We could potentially see. Draw this. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Right, that white line. To right here. And then you kind of get an idea of the golden pocket. It looks like it's already bounced off of it and found support at it though. So, I mean, I would just stay away from this. I mean, it's a great project. It has great fundamentals. I love Cardano, but I would just personally like rather do Ethereum right now just because of like the risk to reward. Like really, Cardano's supposed to at least do a 50x. And it's already done like a 8 or 5x. It's done like a 5x since I've been talking about it. It's already 5x. It's already returned over 100, or it's already returned over 500%. So I'm only like guaranteed it's supposed to do a 50x. So if we've already done a 5x, that means there's only a 10x left for this cycle. But that's at the bare minimum. But whereas what is it? Ethereum is supposed to also at least do. Ethereum's supposed to hit like 27,000, like 20 to 27,000. So like the risk to reward, the charts just they look extremely bullish on ADA, but you're kind of just riding the wave hoping for things. Whereas on Ethereum, like we can clearly see nice levels of support. Like it's just I have a lot more confidence in Ethereum right now. If I have some extra money, maybe I'll put some in Cardano. But really where I'm looking to accumulate Cardano, to get on the subject of Cardano, is I want to see Bitcoin break its all-time highs, which would be around 48K. And then if it starts to just blast off, if it hits 50, breaks 50, goes 60, 70, 80, and just blast off, that is just going to absolutely destroy Bitcoin dominance. And obviously this is an altcoin. And at that point, basically what's going to happen is Cardano is not going to be doing well. And all these massive uptrends that you see, they're going to go into like double tops. We're not there yet, but essentially that would be... I would be cost-based averaging in based off measured moves. Like if we were to see massive, if we were to see like potentially right here as a top, like this right here, and then if it was to come down, like not that this is going to happen right now, but when we get that Bitcoin pump, you could potentially have this, and then if the price action comes down to right here, that would test this neckline, and this would be a ginormous double bottom, or a double top, perfectly coming in with the price action, things like that. And then I would look to be trading it downwards. So instead of how we trade it upwards, like how we're in a really good leverage position on Ethereum right now, and I like show you guys, I'm like, oh, like I'm adding more like right now, I'm like taking profits right now. We would do all that same trading, but we would trade the price action down. So we would still be doing the technical analysis, and we would just basically be trading it downwards. And that would be, as we're trading it down, cost-based averaging into Cardano is what I'm really looking for, because you got to remember that in this bull run, these markets are cyclical, based off of stock-to-flow ratios, based off of a lot of historical data, and a lot of things on top of that, just Fibonacci, like time zones, all these different things. So we're supposed to hit like 100,000. Like with Bitcoin, like people thought I was crazy. I hold so much Bitcoin, and I've not sold a penny of Bitcoin since I was heavily. I mean, I bought a little bit of Bitcoin at 100. I bought a little bit of Bitcoin at 3,000. I bought a little, but I was heavy accumulating at 10K, and I haven't sold any of it. And we're at like 48. That's because we're expected to at least, at the very bare minimum, get it bare, because like bearish target 100,000. But we're most likely going to hit around 238,000. And so if that's the case, the reason I'm telling you this, even if you know this, is because I need to give you guys some perspective. As we're going up, we're going to hit like, 100K consolidate. And whether we go higher or not, there's going to be another altcoin season. So as we're blasting off on Bitcoin, as Bitcoin's going up and altcoins go down, that's when you accumulate. And then once Bitcoin or once altcoin season starts again at like 100,000 or 70,000, it is going to be absolutely massive gains, a lot more potential, a lot less risk. And so that's really what I'm looking for. I'm holding Cardano long term. I really believe in the project. You guys know that. I've gone over it a lot. And really what Charles Hopkins is doing, and the reason why it seems like Ethereum is outpacing it, is because Charles Hopkinson is really taking the time to build the platform, really make sure that everything is perfect before going ahead and releasing it like entirely. So he's like breaking like down Goguen into 3 steps. He's very cautiously so that it has the perfect scalability. On top of Ethereum high gas fees, one of the problems with ETH is its scalability. And so on top of just everything else, like there's just so many problems with Ethereum. And because Charles Hopkinson is taking so much time to develop it, it's going to be set. It's going to be ready. It's going to be the best cryptocurrency platform to build dApps on, decentralized applications, because he's really taking the time to make sure it's scalable, to make sure it's perfect, so that when they release the mainnet. And so what I'm saying is that this is one of the best long-term holds, not financial advice. But so like when I'm accumulating at 10 cents, I'm not selling in this bull run. That's the thing. Like I'll sell some Bitcoin. I'll sell some Ethereum. I'm about to buy a house with some, like I already have some real estate, but I was going to buy another house with the Bitcoin. We'll go over it on the channel. I'll talk to you guys about it. We'll go over real estate when the bear market happens. We'll be accumulating Cardano and a little bit of Bitcoin, and we'll be going over the real estate that I'm buying, like another house, just like a little crib. Like it's a pretty sweet setup. I'll talk to you guys about real estate when we get there. But so like when you look at game plans, like this is a long-term hold for me. You have this bear market that's going to happen in about a year, and when that bear market happens in a year to 3 years, you're essentially going to have either a bear winter for, it could be like 4 or 5 years before another bull run. That's fine with me. I have no problem accumulating again. But when you see these accumulations, we're still at a 50x, or we're still at a 10x from here. So we're most likely going to hit, like these levels are probably going to be the lowest, if not, it might be a little bit higher. It might be like $2, $3, $4 at the bottom of the next bear market, if that makes sense. So me buying at 10 cents, like obviously that's a long-term hold, if that makes sense. But so when you're buying these things, I just want to know where you're coming from, because you always want to have a game plan when you're investing. And my game plan is to hold this long-term and get incredible prices with, again, perfect risk to reward ratios. And for me, that looks like, again, accumulating during not only the bear market, but also when Bitcoin dominance drops, when there's a pump, because I know the fundamentals are going to be there. And then on top of that, I stake my Cardano, and so I'm earning, I think, 55% interest a year on those massive bags that I bought at 10 cents. So that's a really good strategy. And basically, like those 4 years while it's in the bear market, like until we hit like a new prolonged bear, nobody can really tell at this point. People say like cyclical. It is cyclical. Has cycles, but nobody can really tell you how long this one is going to be, or the next one. The best guess is like it's the bull market's going to end in September, but they do, like when you look at the cycles, they don't all last like 1 to 4 years or something like that. They all last different time frames, but like respectively. So we can't really go off of historical data, but we know there is going to be a bear market. We know there is going to be another bull market. And so while I was accumulating all down there, it's just going to be stacking interest at 55%. So I'm going to make 55% on top of for 4 years. So I'm going to make, what is that, like 200 and whatever percent. So that's a really good strategy, in my opinion. All right. Are we going to see a downtrend with ADA? So what we would have to see is we would have to start seeing lower lows, which we're not seeing right now. Again, this is kind of the hype right now. So with the hype, it's like, I don't want to compare it to Dogecoin because like obviously Cardano is probably the best cryptocurrency in the crypto space, but what I will say is that like there's a lot of hype. You're relying on the market. So you really to see a downtrend, we would have to see a lack of volume. We would have to see less volume. We would have to see volume trending down more towards selling pressure, which I can just show you real quickly, and then we would have to start setting lower lows. Like I said, I already pulled out the fib, and I already told you that like as far as patterns go, like there's nothing that we can really look at. Like we're just clearly in an uptrend, and it looks like it hit this fib level, bounced higher. We're really consolidating. Again, this right here is what we would look at. We would look at this volume indicator right here. And so you have this volume, and this is kind of what we don't want to see. We don't want to see more selling pressure. We want to see more buying pressure, or we want to see it hold these levels. Like I said, this is really in the short term what I'm looking at. It would potentially not be hyper bullish. Like right now it's hyper bullish, but it's not like guaranteed to go up because there's not necessarily that buying pressure to keep with the momentum. But essentially if we break this, that would be good, but so that it's not like in this like hyper like uptrend, we could potentially hit this level again, bounce off. That would be a potential entry point. Or if we hit this level down here and bounced off with strong volume, that could be another potential area down at the point 618 level at the bottom of the Fibonacci level, Fibonacci golden pocket. Let's see. Do you think we should buy ADA now or when it drops? So I was talking to you guys a lot about ADA a long time ago, and I told you guys like back when I first started making videos, I said it's the best. It was the time to get in earlier. Like I said, I like the risk to reward ratio. I like the dynamics. I like everything about Ethereum right now more because like when I said when I first started talking about ADA, it had a 50% or a 50x potential, which means it had the potential to go from 50. It had the potential to go 50 times from where it is, where it was, and now there's only a 10x potential, if not less. So when you're looking at the potential of ADA as a guaranteed 10x, and you're looking at Ethereum, which has already a guaranteed like 12 or 13 according to BitBoy, but if you want to be conservative, they're saying Ethereum's supposed to hit at least 20K. So that's over a 10x right there, and it's a higher market cap coin. So like even though, and it's the paradox, and I always talk about this on the channel because it's super important. This is the paradox. Cardano is by far better than Ethereum, but most people don't know that. And the people that do know that, they still like Ethereum because the only thing Ethereum has going for it is it has a developed network. It has staking. It has everything. Like it is a functional network. It just doesn't function as highly optimal as we need for the cryptocurrency space. And obviously you see that with Ethereum gas fees. So what I'm saying is that I get it. Trust me, I get it because I was preaching Cardano a long time ago, like on different social media accounts. And the thing is this. ADA is better, but we're looking for better entry prices on it. You could buy now. It could potentially go up to 90 cents, nearly guaranteed. But you're looking at those support levels to really find in like a good, not even guaranteed, to really get a good entry price. You want to find a support level, and you want it to bounce off of that support level. So like I always say on this channel, and it's just hyper important, you have to watch for the support level. You have to let it bounce off the 618 and then go up, and then that's testing the support level as support. And it's very bullish. You can't just go in and put your limit order there, because then if it potentially breaks that level, then it's bearish. So we're really looking to test those areas. That would be the only like really safe entry points. And then just if you're in a trade or you're holding some or whatever the deal is, if it continues to set the lower lows, which what it is doing, then that would be really good for it. So, like, should I buy ADA now? Should you buy ADA now? I'm not buying ADA now. I'd rather go Ethereum. But, for the long term, I love ADA, and like, yes, it's going to go up obviously a massive amount in the future. So if you're buying it long term, I mean, you can, like, if you don't already have a bag, I urge you to just have a massive bag of ADA. But what I say on this channel is you can never have enough ADA, but like I said, we're accumulating at different points than right now. And I'll tell you the opportunities. Right now is not like a good opportunity in my opinion. I think Ethereum's better opportunity right now. If it drops back down a bit, or when it drops back down a bit, yeah, I want to buy it when it drops back down a bit, because regardless, think about it this way. It's guaranteed to go up more than what it is right now. Like, they haven't even launched the mainnet. We're not even like halfway through this bull market. Like, it's guaranteed to go back up. So obviously you want to get a better price in. How do I know what to hodl? And how do I know what to hodl? Hodl freaking, not financial advice. Not financial advice. Hodl freaking. We just bought some uni yesterday just because it was looking pretty decent. But hodl for sure, Bitcoin for sure, Ethereum for sure, Cardano, possibly Chainlink. Chainlink's coming up on some comp. Possibly Uni's freaking massive. And then what I'm hoping is that they build on Cardano. They use the decentralized dApp of Uniswap and they put it on Cardano so they can get better gas fees. If that's the case, like, obviously Uniswap, whenever you're buying a mid cap or a small cap, you really see how useful Uniswap is. So yeah, I love Uni. So those are potential. I'll look at my portfolio in a second, but I think those are the main ones. There's a lot of crap coins. There's a lot of cool coins. Like, you have all these coins like Orchid, which is like a decentralized VPN. Like, they're all cool, but they're not really like, you don't need to hodl that much. Literally all I can say is just like, if you would have got like a massive amount of Cardano at 10 cents, like, that's all you would have needed. And it's outperformed Bitcoin. So like, literally, like, don't get caught up in like I have to buy all these different coins. Like, literally, if you just got Cardano at those levels, it would have been perfect. You literally wouldn't even had to have bought Bitcoin, and it's more decentralized. I only have about 2K to invest in crypto, so I'm not a whole lot, and I'm trying to throw like when I get paid. Make smart decisions. Yeah, like I said, like right now I'm ETH. Like, you guys know, like, I know Cardano, but like, I'm telling you guys, like, I like ETH right now as far as risk to reward ratio. There's some other stuff like, we talk about altcoins, but like on this channel, like, being extremely conservative, being extremely smart, getting guaranteed rewards. Not financial advice, but ETH just is like a no-brainer. ADA will go up much higher in the future. Buy and stake it. So yeah, that's exactly what I do. I use ADA Lite IO to stake it. I recommend it. Not financial advice. For sure. Yeah, dollar cost average that ADA for sure. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you have any earlier coins that have good opportunity, like ADA a while back? ADA is it. I'm telling you, ADA is it. I have some other stuff that I'm working on, but like, they're all low cappers and they definitely don't have anything close to the potential. Ferrum Network's okay. I really don't want to name drop. Just because like nothing, like, you guys got to understand that, like, when I say ADA is like the best cryptocurrency in cryptocurrency, like, I mean that it just laps everything. Like, a lot of these coins that you look at, they're just a joke compared to it. I mean, DOT's not bad, but okay. So what's my opinion on BNB, Binance Coin? This is my opinion on Binance Coin, and I have a very similar opinion to it on. Let me know if you want to see the chart on it, but my opinions on Binance Coin is this. Essentially, it's like buying a stock, but a crypto stock. So you're buying a company. You're buying into an ecosystem for a company because Binance is a company, right? And it's basically like when you're in a gold rush. Like, you could think of Bitcoin as digital gold, and everybody's trying to get the Bitcoin, which is like the gold, and so it's like a gold rush. And essentially, Binance is selling the shovels. They're giving you the tools to buy the gold, to get the gold. And so you're buying a company, you're buying into a company essentially that that is like it's like a stock. Like if you were to buy like Apple or whatever, you're buying into a company that's supportive of cryptocurrency. So extremely bullish if you're bullish on the entire crypto space. Obviously, I am. Here's the downside. When I talk about Binance coin, I also talk about crypto.com coin. And the thing I hate about crypto.com coin is that you got to really pay to play with crypto.com. Like you have to get like their crypto.com like high rewards cards to start earning like real staking rewards. And if you don't, like crypto.com's ecosystem is constantly being watered down because they're not like a fixed amount. And I'm almost entirely sure on Binance coin it's the same thing. It's not a fixed supply. Things like Ethereum, things like Bitcoin, just different tokens. They're anti-inflationary. They burn. They have burn rates. But they don't have burn rates. So there's pros and cons to it. Essentially, you're not just getting some like crap coin because Binance is a company and obviously they're doing well and obviously they're probably going to lead the space for a while to come, especially as they develop more so their Binance US customers. So it's not bad. It's just, there's pros and cons to it, and that's really the way that I look at Binance. So if it's more so if you want to get into stocks but you still want to be in crypto, that's something I would recommend. Look at it perfectly hit that wedge. So it got rejected at this wedge. This is what we were looking at earlier. We were like, is it going to hit this wedge? Looks like it got rejected. That's really what we were looking at on these charts. Like it looks like it found support. Setting higher lows, we could, come back up, test that wedge, and then until it breaks that wedge. And then obviously you have this upper band that we'll look at when we get there. That's Link. Uni, we looked at Uni for a sec. And I actually got some Uni after we looked at it. Not financial advice, but this looks really good. You have this obvious resistance. And then what I said is I wanted to have it come down and flip support. It looks like it broke that support, yeah. Unfortunately, so I'm not liking what Uniswap is looking like right now. I want to see a clear, and yeah, it broke it right here. I want to see a clear bounce from here, which would see, cash flow isn't looking terribly good on the 1 hour. So yeah, I mean, not a terribly good pick right now. And then I think this is an all-time high right here. So essentially what I wanted to see back in when we were first getting it is I wanted to see a bounce right here and then a continuation higher. Market Cipher was showing a long signal. I don't know where it was. I think it was on the 4 hour. It was showing a long signal, and I was like, oh, that long signal is most likely going to push it up to break this level right here, and it's going to be a continuation, and it's going to be super bullish. And I was expecting a bounce. But so like I would do that because like that's me, and I don't mind like taking like an ROI hit. Like obviously Uniswap's going to perform extremely well, but I don't mind taking a small ROI hit because it didn't do exactly what I was going to say. But like on this channel, I wouldn't recommend that to anybody, and I don't recommend that to anybody. So that's like why I say exactly when I tell you guys, when you're looking at a resistance flip support idea, you have to make sure the price action bounces. The reason I tell you guys that is because I don't want you guys to take hits. I really don't care about taking hits. Like a small little ROI hit, but like I don't want that for you guys, especially because if that is the case, then most likely you might get scared, you might sell, and that's really the only way if you're getting into these decent coins that you're going to lose money, and I just don't want you guys to lose money. I would feel bad. But for me, I was just like, I need to expose myself. I used to have a Uniswap at like $3, and like it was really good. And then we got airdropped a lot of Uni. I think, would you suggest to somebody who's new trying yield farming? Yield farming is like 2017, 2018 kind of vibe. Here's what I would recommend more so than anything. you guys know on this channel, I haven't had luck with staking nominators for for Polkadot. But if you can go on Polkadot's website and stake, now I have to stress this a lot. If you're very new to cryptocurrency, if you're going to be staking Cardano, if you're going to be staking Ethereum, if you're going to be staking your Polkadot, you need to know what you're doing. You need to watch YouTube videos on it, because if you accidentally screw up in cryptocurrency, you guys know, especially if you've been here for a long time, if you screw up and you send it to the wrong address or something, you lose your coins. It's not entirely complicated, at least in my opinion, to stake. But you need to watch the videos. You need to know what you're doing before you do it. That being said, I would highly recommend staking things like Polkadot, Cardano, ETH. You guys know I've had a problem staking DOT, not because of my own negligence, but because the validator nodes weren't selecting my staking to secure the network. Like they weren't choosing my collateral that I was putting up, even though I was tipping them. So, but I've had absolutely no problem staking on ADA Lite. Like they basically do it for you. I can't remember if they do it for you, if you have to pick a delegation node to begin with. But very good with Cardano, which is why I talk so much about Cardano, which is I like Cardano so much. And like I said, you know, I don't want to be egocentric and just say that it's me, but like if I can't stake it and I've been involved with crypto for a long time and I know what I'm doing with Polkadot, then I have a very hard time to believe that other people aren't going to struggle also. So that just, you know, makes me more so do ADA. But if you can stake DOT, if you can stake Polkadot, if you can stake ADA, they have massive interest rates. I think both Cardano and ADA are like 50 or 60% staking rewards. So that's just insane. So like if you put up $100, you should be able to earn 50% of those tokens. So another $50 worth of ADA, like respectively. You're going to get the coins, not the dollar amount. So if you have one Cardano, you're going to get in a year, you're going to get another half Cardano, which is insanely good. I know everybody wants everything in crypto to be like instantaneous, but when you talk about like a dividend in a stock, until really the evaluation started to get messed up with inflation because of the stimulus packages, a lot of stocks you wouldn't see anything more than 2 to 5% on a dividend on a stock. And staking rewards are obviously set up different. They're collateral attached to nodes to secure the network and to run the network both optimally and favorably with collateral to incentivize that. So obviously they work differently than dividends, but essentially when you look at it on like a balance sheet with an asset, you know, you have your asset, you have your appraised value, you have your interest that you're accruing from it, and then you have your cash flow, which my dad's like a top executive, so like I'm like a business guy. So if you guys don't understand like any of that stuff, like just let me know. But like essentially, in like layman's terms, it's basically a dividend on an asset, and and relative to the stock market, it is an extremely good dividend with the underlying asset itself, with a lot of potential to go up. So yeah, that's really what I would recommend. I wouldn't really recommend yield farming. That's kind of outdated in my opinion, and it's just you know, it always goes down to risk reward ratio. It always has to. When you're investing, it always has to. And risk to reward ratio, like what's the risk of staking Cardano when it's supposed to at least 10x more? At the same time, you can get ETH and stake ETH with third parties. I wouldn't recommend running your own validator node. I believe you need 32 Ethereum. I was looking into that before. I was about to run a 32 ETH node. At the time, it was only going to cost me 14K, but I just didn't pull the trigger. I was also, you guys know that I'm in real estate, so I was going to do, what's it called? What do you call it? house sharing. It's not house sharing. Oh, crowdfunding. I was gonna crowdfund an ETH. So basically, I was just gonna get a bunch of my friends that have a lot of money. We were all gonna put ETH in, and then we were all gonna buy like 10 ETH or whatever, and essentially run a node on that. So that's kind of like what they do in real estate. Like if you can't buy a property but you want one, they'll pool a bunch of money together so that you guys can all buy it under appraised real estate value. That's called. But we'll talk about real estate a lot in the bear market. Like I said, I'm getting a crib. I'm gonna walk you guys through like exactly like how I'm buying it, how I'm setting up the deal, everything once this bear market starts, so you guys can get into real estate. Let me know if you have any more questions. Just because it doesn't really make sense to hold like an entire portfolio of Bitcoin during the bull market. I'd rather just sell like half or a quarter or something and buy some real estate. And that deleverages you, and then also you can like optimally get back in when you need to. So that's uni. What else do we want to go over? Do you guys have any coins that you want to look at? You have any coins that you want my opinion on? Let's see. BTC, USD. But I'm a realist. I'm not gonna like just tell you a bunch of crap about your coins and be like, oh yeah, that like that decentralized VPN. Oh yeah, that what are all the different coins? I'll just read them real quick off of, but everything looks good right now. We're holding support, which I told you guys was absolutely critical. I'll just read you guys the Coinbase coins and tell you guys my opinions on them. And the only thing is, like, I don't mind crap coins, but if you're going to have crap coins, like, the problem that I have with them is you don't want to be left holding a bag. So I have ETH, Bitcoin, obviously. I have a little bit of Chainlink, a little bit of Uni, a little bit of Stellar Lumens, a little bit of Yearn Finance. I might be looking to take a little Yearn Finance out. I have a ultra small amount of XRP. Filecoin, I had to take some of it out. I really like the fundamentals behind Filecoin, and I don't like the tokenomics behind Filecoin. So there's an extremely high volume of coins, and just the tokenomics of the coin, just like the fact of how like inflationary the coin metrics are. I'm just not a huge fan of Filecoin from the tokemetric side. From the fundamentals, they're trying to be a decentralized cloud application, kind of like if you go on iCloud, Apple Cloud, I don't know what it's called, but when you go on that, essentially it's a database. They're trying to be a decentralized database, and they're essentially going to reward people that provide the storage of the data. So if you have a computer, if you have, I forget the exact terminology, but if you have, the storage and you want to rent out your storage, they'll pay you in Filecoins, and then the people that are getting the storage, they will pay in Filecoins. So it's a nice cash flowing ecosystem, nice fundamentals, definitely a big use case. So I mean, that it's good. It's good fundamental wise. I don't like the tokenomics. I had a little bit in Filecoin. It just pumped like 50 something percent the other day. I pulled a little bit out, and I think I put it into ETH. I used to have Tezos. I'm not a big fan of Tezos at all. Like, get that crap out of here. There's just real no reason to be in Tezos. Like, if you're on Coinbase and you're like, but it returns a 4.6 API, I like Algorand a lot more, and it returns a 6%. So you got Aave. Obviously, Aave used to be called Lend, I'm pretty sure. It went through a rebranding. I'm pretty sure it used to be called Lend. Almost positive. And it's just killing it. It just will not stop killing it. I have some Aave on my ledger, so I'm just going to keep it for a little bit because I have to pay high Ethereum gas fees to transfer it. But Aave is decentralized finance, and it usually leads the way for decentralized finance. So if Aave starts pumping, usually things like Compound and Maker are going to follow in trend. You got Band Protocol. Some people are bullish on Band. I'm just remotely I'm kind of on the fence about it. You got Basic Attention Token. So essentially, if you watch, it's a decentralized ads. So if you want to watch an ad, they'll pay you in Basic Attention tokens for watching that ad. So for advertisements, like you get to choose what advertisements you want to see. So it's different than right now in present day. You're on the movies, you're on the internet, and you just see a bunch of random crap ads. And by the way, you're never gonna see ads on my channel. I really could care less about an extra whatever on like hitting sponsorship. But you see all these ads you just don't want to see in normal life. What Basic Attention Token does is it's a decentralized ad platform where you can click on ads that you're actually interested in. Let's say you're interested in camping. You can click on some camping ads, and while you're clicking on them, you can earn Basic Attention tokens. So the company gets to market to you, you get to see what you want to see, and you guys are both heavily incentivized. Because from the business perspective, the companies that are putting their ads on Basic Attention Token, they know that you're going to be interested in it because you're the one that clicked on it. So very cool with that. Bitcoin Cash, spinoff of Bitcoin. Long term, it's not going to fare well. Obviously, Bitcoin is by far the leading Bitcoin derivative, or however you would say it, spinoff, click off. Basically, what they did is they took Bitcoin's code, and then just made the transaction speed faster. So Bitcoin, you can only do a certain amount of transactions in a second. I think it's like 12 transactions a second or something. Bitcoin network's slow. If you ever use Bitcoin, it takes like an hour to send Bitcoin. But it's a store of value. It's not a method of payment. So that's where people get confused, and they're like, oh, well, I'll just go with Dash because Dash is way faster. Yeah, but Dash doesn't have, the multi-billion-dollar computer network to secure and incentivize the network along with the branding. So anyways, just like Bitcoin Cash, I would stay away from it. You could get quick pumps on it. Everybody in the community knows that you can get quick pumps on it. Again, I just don't touch it. I used to have a little bit of cash, Bitcoin Cash, but it's just, it's going to be like Ethereum Classic. Once Bitcoin, the more and more predominant Bitcoin gets, the less and less chance, obviously, that something like Bitcoin Cash has to get adoption. Because the problem is you're like, oh, well, I want faster transaction speeds. Well, if we keep branching off into like Satoshi's vision, Bitcoin SV, if you branch off into all these, where does it stop? You're going to keep incentivizing the network, making it more optimal potentially, but that's going to just take cash out of everywhere. And Bitcoin's going to be, it's supposed to be digital gold. And so if you're taking cash out of everywhere, then if there's a next thing and there's a next thing, you never really feel safe holding your token because they're always upgrading it. So you always got to move your money into the next token. And then it's not really a store of value. So those are some main reasons why about Bitcoin Cash. Cosmos, they're trying to connect, they're trying to bridge together different ecosystems and cryptocurrency. They have a 5% APY. They just pumped pretty decently. Personally, when we talk about this a lot in building portfolios in crypto, it's like this. If you want to diversify your portfolio, obviously, like I just said, Bitcoin is obviously the store of value, store of wealth, whatever. But if you want to get into different market sectors, potentially you could get into something like Cardano, which would be, so now you have some Bitcoin, you have some Cardano. So Cardano would be, your decentralized application platform, which is a different sector, a different market sector that's going to react differently than Bitcoin. So you're diversified in different sectors. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dash, all these different coins that are trying to do all the same thing. You just want to get the best. And I know that Dash isn't necessarily perfectly trying to be a store of value, but a lot of new guys tend to think that. And you want to get different. You don't when it comes to like store value in your portfolio, like you want to get the best. You don't want to get the second best. Like you want to buy something like Apple that everybody has the biggest brand about, because if you buy something like Samsung, Apple's always going to have more market share unless things change fundamentally. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about a phone, what do you think about? Everybody has an iPhone. So obviously a lot of that money is going to be flowing into iPhone. So you want to get the best brand, because the best brand's where all the money is going to be flowing into, and it has the best potential to go up. I read a really good marketing book on it. I can't remember the name of it. I always say that, but and then like if you want to diversify from your best coin, which is, for store value, and you want to get into a different sector, Cardano would be a good sector for decentralized applications. So would I recommend getting Cardano and something like Ethereum? Long term, I would not, because you're already exposed. Why would you hold Cardano and Ethereum long term? Why wouldn't you just pick the best one out of the two of them? You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about diversifying, you're really diversifying different sectors, is what we talk about in finance, not diversifying in terms of just buying a bunch of coins. No, you buy the best coin of the sector, and you diversify by getting into different sectors. So potentially you would have something like Bitcoin, Cardano, and then would I recommend Cosmos? No, as far as interconnectability between different cryptos, I would definitely recommend not financial advice, but Polkadot. I would stay away from Cosmos, and I would just put my money into Polkadot personally. Then, we have Dash. We already talked about it. EOS, like I said, EOS pumps. It has a really good history of pumping. I don't like the fundamentals behind it. Token economics are decent. The way it stakes is decent. I like it. Like, it's just not it. It's just not. I wouldn't waste my time. I wouldn't waste my money. Build with a staking network like that. It's okay. Kyber Network, I actually use Kyber Network. I actually use Kyber Swap. I use Kyber Swap, and it's a decentralized DEX, decentralized. What would you say? It's kind of like Uniswap, where Kyber Swap is like you can send over like Bitcoin and then some Ethereum, and then basically you can trade your Bitcoin powered by Ethereum to get different coins. So I don't really want to pull up my Kyber Swap network, but because I have my portfolio on there, but and I just don't want, like, it doesn't really matter how much money I have. For a 22-year-old, I have a lot of money, but it doesn't really matter. I'd rather just tell you guys percentages of what's going on. But so Kyber Swap is a decentralized DEX. I've used it. I like it. It obviously has the same problems as Uniswap, which is high Ethereum gas fees, but and it doesn't have as much tokens. Obviously, not even close to as much as Uniswap. Litecoin, there's no reason for Litecoin. Digital silver doesn't even make sense. I've already talked about why gold is so valuable, because gold is created through a supernova. You can look it up. There's only a finite supply of gold, so it's anti-inflationary because you can't essentially print more of it. And it usually costs more to mine gold than what the actual gold is worth, so it tends to store its value pretty well. Why you would need digital silver doesn't really make sense. Loper, LRC, that's a decent coin. Good midterm hold, potentially, if you can make some money on it. Maker, decentralized finance. Orchid, decentralized VPN. Ren, you can wrap your Bitcoin, potentially. I think the pump for that already hit. Could go higher, but a lot of people were like, oh, I want to get out of Bitcoin and move into Ethereum as of a month or 2 months ago. Synthetic Network has just been absolutely killing it. Synthetic derivatives on the real market. So if you have gold or whatever the market is, synthetically has a market for that derivative of what you're trying to trade. So if you're trying to get into oil, you can do that on synthetics on a decentralized application, and it's the synthetic version of it, and basically you get the same ROI, same price interaction, but it's on a decentralized application, and the way that they're able to do that is they synthetically correlate the prices of the derivative, which is good. The graph, like a search engine, I'm kind of into graph. And for the longest time I was talking about graph, and I was saying it had a falling knife formation, and that was the same thing with Filecoin, and I thought the exact same thing with both of them. I don't like the tokenomics. I don't like the tokenomics. I like the fundamentals behind the project, but they were both having a falling knife formation. So obviously, if the price just keeps dropping, you want to stay out of that. You don't want to cost base average into a falling knife, especially on an ICO, something that's new, that's looking for price discovery, and really developing its charts. So we stayed out of it. I got a little bit of graph, got a little bit of Filecoin, and it looks like they just started pumping recently, and they broke that falling knife formation. And then from here, if you can get a really good deal on it, it's not a total crap coin. Wrapped Bitcoin, nice. Zcash, so Zcash throws a lot of people off. Let me see if there's any questions. Zcash throws a lot of people off. It's a derivative, or it's like Bitcoin, same tokenomics or whatever, but it's a privacy coin. Privacy coins are at risk for the SEC, possibly, and then a lot of people think, well, because it used to be like 5,000 and now it's only 100, that it's going to go back to that. There's nothing that says that it's going to go back to 5,000. Essentially, all that means is that a lot of people over speculated on the price to begin with. A lot of people over speculated on the ICO, and they just got absolutely destroyed. They lost 99% of their investment. A lot of people were uneducated, and they didn't understand that Zcash was a derivative of Bitcoin, and historically those tend to not do very well, and the fact that there's a lot to it, but yeah, essentially it falls under a privacy coin like Monero, Zcash, and these coins are privacy coins. And do you have any early coins that have good opportunities? 8 is it. I'm telling you, 8 is it. Would you suggest someone who is new trying out yield farming? You just got to know what you're doing, obviously. And like I said, I would prefer staking, that's what I would say. Those higher potential coins on good price, like when you get a good appraised value, sounds like mine, but I've purchased tons of. Okay, so XRP, I get both arguments because I'm like very involved with the space, so like I understand both sides of the argument. For me personally, with my risk tolerance, and I always say this, especially when Cardano was so undervalued, I was like, why would I risk all this money? Potentially, XRP is really high risk, really high reward, and they're filled on freaking hopium. Yes, if banks do adopt, and there is the potential for banks to adopt, central banks to adopt XRP technology, and if that is the case, then obviously XRP will skyrocket. Now that's highly speculative, so very high risk, very high reward, very high risk. Just not my cup of tea when I can earn a lot more conservative returns on Cardano and see massive returns of the likes with a better risk to reward ratio, in my opinion, and having a lot less speculation. So yeah, I would definitely do ADA versus USDT as opposed to ADA versus BTC. So if you're doing ADA versus BTC, essentially what you're doing is it's the price comparative of the paired coins of, you're basically comparing how is Cardano doing compared to Bitcoin. Like how much Bitcoin is going to cost to buy Cardano? Is it going to cost more or less potentially over time? And then ADA USDT, so USDT is US Tether, and so essentially it's basically U.S. dollars, and so I would much rather purchase ADA with dollars because dollars are, I'm not going to get into dollars, but obviously I like Bitcoin more than I like dollars, which is why most of my money is in cryptocurrency, my cash, and yes, I would much prefer, if you're saying what's the difference, like what would you prefer? I would much prefer ADA USDT. If you're talking about charts specifically, I would rather look at ADA slash USD. So Cardano compared to the US dollar, because that's what most people are going to be trading off of. If you're looking at these graphs as far as USDT and BTC comparatives, not as many people are going to be looking at those charts, so they're not going to fare as well. The fundamentals, everything isn't going to trade as well. When you see me trading on the comparatives that I use, like obviously the fundamentals work so ridiculously well because that's where the most amount of people are looking. That's where the most amount of people are measuring fibs and whatnot. Also, where do you think would be a good place to learn some fundamentals to get some uh, good resources to learn about the fundamentals or of different altcoins? Yeah, so you really just got to be involved with the space. The best place that I could recommend is probably Coinbase, just to start out with. And if you go on Coinbase, I'm not gonna shill any, like I never shill anything, so I'm not gonna give you a link to it. But essentially, if you I could, but it's just not worth it. Like I was telling my girlfriend last night, I was like, we have so much money, like it's just freaking stupid. I can buy all my dream cars and my house, so it's like I don't even need any more. So, like for example, you would go to here. Let's see. So yeah, you're never gonna see me shill projects. I freaking hate that. But you asked, and I'm trying to help you out. So this is the only reason I'm showing you this. And I'm not gonna give you a referral link. But essentially, what you would do is you would go to Coinbase, and then in the rewards hub. So I don't want to go to the main menu because I don't want to show you my Coinbase account. But essentially, what you would do is you would go to the reward hub right here, and you would get paid to learn about a lot of the different coins. Like you have the this new one, and you earn $3 for watching videos that take very short amount of time. You basically, like from what I've experienced, you earn like $60 an hour doing it because you're constantly watching these videos, and they take like maybe a minute to earn $1, maybe a minute a video to answer, if not quicker. For me, it was quicker just because I'm involved in the cryptocurrency space, and they're crypto questions. And basically, what you do is you watch a video, you learn about it, they pay you in crypto. I actually did put it on my Snap following like a while back, just because I really wanted to help people. And now, like a lot of those coins are doing freaking phenomenal. But yeah, that's where I would start out with is Coinbase rewards. They're really good presentations on different tokens. That's not going to have all the tokens. And then the Coin Bureau is probably what I would recommend. Probably I would go to Coin Bureau. He's a British guy, and he goes over fundamentals for altcoins, and he's pretty brilliant. I would say, yeah, probably the best in the space for sure. And I would just go on his page. What I would do exactly is I would go on his page, click on videos, click on most popular, and just look at some that um, he likes and that he looks at. And I mean, from watching his videos, because obviously I have to if I want to be up to date, like if I want to be like, like really involved with cryptocurrency, make the highest ROIs and whatnot, and confidently say that ADA is by far the best cryptocurrency, obviously I have to have a very, very good understanding of the entire market. And during my research, I liked H bar, H bar. That's the ticker symbol. Habara half graph. Bad at pronouncing it, but Habara half graph, however you say it, it's has the ability to
one of the biggest problems with tokens, especially as the price of cryptocurrencies increase, is the ability to essentially how most of these ecosystems work is you fund the network with these different tokens like Ethereum. And obviously, when Ethereum goes up very high, that's not very good monetary incentive to incentivize the network. So what HBAR does is it gives you the ability to use an ultra small amount of the token to still to conduct the transaction. Or if you were to buy something with cryptocurrency and you wanted to only use a very small amount, like in-game purchases or something like that. They do that, and then they're supposed to be lightning fast, but they're only lightning fast, I think, within the network or something. I'm not entirely sure. They were getting some pullback from them claiming that they have like 10,000 transactions a second. Um, I think Cheeky Crypto or somebody criticized them for that. I'm not entirely sure who did. But that's an interesting project to look at. Looks promising. Um, what's another one? Um, what's that other one? I like IOTA. IOTA is one of those where a lot of top university students are working on it. It has really solid fundamentals. There's no BS in it. It's very professionally done. It's already a lot of the price has been factored in, and like the growth potential isn't astronomically projected. So you would see modest but respectable and conservative returns again. But when you're talking about something like that, like unless you have like 50K in crypto and like you're really trying to diversify just like between different asset, like just different like sectors inside of sectors. I mean, I wouldn't even really get involved with something like that. Again, I wouldn't even really get involved with like more than a little bit of however you say it, Havarti half graph. The ticker symbol is HBAR. HBAR is what people call it. Um, but those are decent projects. And then I've been looking at Apollo. Apollo, I don't know if Apollo is legit or not. If Apollo, nobody, I've done so much research on Apollo and I cannot figure out if Apollo is legit. But if Apollo is legit, what they're trying to do is they're trying to, ADA was one of the first I've noticed with a bright future, so I thought some is a good idea to hold and watch it boom like Bitcoin. So what you're going to be wanting to look at, which we cover a lot on the channel, is you're going to be wanting to look at Bitcoin dominance, and you're going to be wanting to look at ADA dominance. And ADA dominance, I think, is the thing that we really only go over on this channel.
I haven't seen anybody else go over it. So I'll go over it with you real quick because I know a lot of people are really interested in Cardano, which I'm really happy about because, like I said, I've been talking about that since the beginning. And I say the exact same thing every time. Everybody knows that's our favorite cryptocurrency on the channel. So this is called ADAD. ADA.D is the ticker symbol that you would look up on TradingView. Obviously, market cipher is not going to be too useful when you're looking at percentages, but what this shows you is this shows you the percentage of people getting into ADA, the ADA dominance. So you want to see this, you want to look at this, you want to make sure that this is constantly up, trending up. I'll say this because it's very important. This is more so a self-fulfilling prophecy than anything. I can go over the TA on this, and it looks like it's finding support at this level right here. Looks like it came down, found support at this moving average right here. That's good, but it's more so a self-fulfilling prophecy than anything. It's not really price action. It's a percentage, so take it as a percentage. It's not guaranteed to react in any sort of way. Kind of like if you're familiar, I'm familiar with Forex, so I can break down Forex obviously on the charts too, because like Forex is a percentage also, which Forex is just trading different currencies, but they interact very similarly. But because it's more so a self-fulfilling prophecy than anything, it does tend to play out like if there's a double top or a double bottom or something, it'll play out. And then the other thing you're going to want to look at is BTC.D. So this is Bitcoin dominance. Now this, and I talk about this a lot because I don't just talk about the fundamentals. So this just idea right here is just a double bottom. Potentially, we're waiting for a neckline break. But so anyways, potentially what you're looking at on Bitcoin dominance, like the reason you would look at Bitcoin dominance before you would look at ADA .D is because of the fundamentals. More people are going to be looking at BTC.D for altcoins as opposed to ADA.D. So self-fulfilling prophecy, market fulfilling prophecy. This is going to drive the price of the altcoins and Bitcoin respectively a lot more so than ADA.D. And really what you want to look at is you want to look at Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's pumping, you really want to come down here and look at BTC.D. Then you want to compare it to other large caps. So you would look at Uniswap, Chainlink. Let me go on here. Chainlink, you would look at Polkadot, Cardano, which is what you're looking at, and maybe some higher, those higher cap coins. And you would look and see how they're reacting. If they're going down, if BTC is going up and Bitcoin is pumping up, then essentially that's not a good time to be in Cardano. If you're holding for the long term, that's fine. It's supposed to 50x. It's supposed to 10x from here, guaranteed. Essentially, not financial advice. But so yeah, those are the things you want to look at, and then really what you do to look at ADA Lite, what you do to look at ADA.D, which is Cardano dominance. What you do to how you interpret that information is really what you're looking at is the cryptocurrency market cap, is a lot of money still flowing into Cardano respectively, and then you also have to, you can't just look at the graph, you have to also think about, well, people are pouring their money into Dogecoin, they're pouring their money into all these different things, and that's going to potentially mess with Bitcoin dominance. It's also going to mess with ADA.D because it's a percentage of all the crypto in the space. So when you take all those into account, that's what you would do to figure out, should I hold? Should I not hold? And because in and of itself, Cardano is going to do good, but it's an altcoin, so it does follow cycles. All right. And obviously, we cover all that very, very, very vividly all the time on this channel. So if you want to know, just sub to the channel. And I always keep everybody very updated on everything. I constantly make videos to keep everybody updated on exactly what you need to know. Yeah, it looks like we're just consolidating right now on ETH. Again, looks good as long as we hold this consolidation, constantly setting lower lows, or higher lows. It just looks good. Let's see if we go to the lower time frame, we might have tapped this resistance, flipped it to support. That would be bullish. Doesn't look like it tapped it perfectly, but that could have been the case. Regardless, it looks good, and this wasn't a resistance area. It broke through it, which is good. It looks like it's just got some overhead resistance in the shorter time frame. Bollinger Bands are looking good. Wait, let's see. Is it riding the upper band? Oh yeah, it's got room to breathe. And then this one. And then we go to the higher time frames. So we'll go to the 1 hour. Nice. 30-minute. Let's go to the 4. Take one more look at the 30-minute just so I can see market cipher. Looks good. What we're looking at right here is an exacerbated bottom. Essentially, the darker this blue is right here, the darker this blue, the more predominant the bottom is, the more likely that that is the bottom. And on the higher time frames, it's saying that this is the top. So this is the top, this is the bottom, according to market cipher, short term, mid term. So yeah, like I said before, it's absolutely critical we hold this level right here. And it looks like there's a lot of upper support or a lot of upper resistance right here. Like as we constantly click through, we're seeing a massive amount of moving averages, which are all going to act as resistance. And it looks like it tapped this one nearly perfectly, if that was even the case, but something like that. But so yeah, there's a lot of resistance overhead. There is also support, so it looks like we're just consolidating again. That's key level to be looking at. Bitcoin, BTC, USD. Again, key level right here. Looks like we're just consolidating. Really, like, I don't like this selling pressure right here. You know, massive selling pressure, not as much buying pressure, but it is holding the level and it is setting a low and then a higher low. So could, you know, we'll see. But this is just key that we hold these levels right here as support, like we have already talked about a lot before. Bro, can you check out ADA? It's fluctuating extremely. Yeah, I could do that for you. ADA. And is it inject? Oh, and okay. It might be too low of like too small of like not enough people are looking at it to the point where it's not on trading view potentially. I cannot see it. ADA slash Do you mean this as a comparative? I'm sure you mean it as a comparative. Yeah, I don't see the pair. I don't see it. Yeah, it might be just too low cap. I don't even know. Comparison. Yeah, I don't know where you would get it. Um, this is kind of the standard, like industry standard. Like obviously the only reason TradingView exists is for charts. I don't see it. I don't know where you would find it. This would be, I mean, do you have it on like Binance or something? I don't even think Binance would have something like that. Like where would you even trade that? Like it just on Femex maybe. I'm you know. I definitely want to, but yeah, because like it's not only just like viewing the chart itself, it's like if you're gonna be looking at Cardano compared to INR, then where would you trade that? Because if you just buy Cardano USD pair, then like that's not relative, and if you just buy in INR, then that's not relative. So I mean, I want to help you. I just don't think that that's possible. I just I don't think that it's on there. Let's take a look at Tesla stock. We bought some Tesla stock yesterday. Ask me any questions. You know I'm primarily crypto, but ask me any questions. And oh baby, we're gonna have to pick up some Tesla stock. Oh baby, get the broker on the phone. I'm literally that's no joke. That's no joke, Smoka. Jeez. All right. Yeah, we gotta buy some Tesla stock. I love that crap. I love that crap right there. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect. I was telling my friend about Market Cipher and how you can apply it to stocks, and he was like, "No freaking way." I'm like, "Yeah, it literally just tells you when to long and short. It's crazy." But yeah, we're gonna have to buy some Tesla stock, like I was saying before, and then we're looking at this key resistance area right here. If this breaks, that is going to be massive. Oh, it looks like it already did break, but it found support. Oh, this is a lower low right here. So yeah, we're looking at this low right here. Yeah, so this gray dot right here. So I have a indicator that already like builds into the indicator. It builds in support and resistance lines. And so if we break this right here, I'm a cost-based average in. If we break support right here, I'm gonna buy more. Here's why I'm buying Tesla stock. If you guys do not know, if you guys are new to the channel and you don't know about like my evaluations, because I did trade my micro strategies. I was up 500 something percent on micro strategies. There's a platform called, which is backed by Binance. I suppose. I'm sure Binance would have it. I just don't have my Binance account. My Binance account, well, I do have my Binance account, but I would have to do the TA on here possibly if they even let me in. I had to sell everything in my Binance account. They kicked me off because I'm in the United States. Binance. I'm logging in right now. But if you don't know about Tesla, okay, so the new current administration is like very into um, they're very into EV cars. They're very into self-driving cars. If you don't know anything about stocks or you're not really following it very heavily, stocks are basically like massive right now into like two things: self-driving cars, AI technology, um, what is the other thing that they're into? And then the United States is pushing a lot of laws against. Basically, it's a war on basically fossil fuels. Obviously, Russia is very upset about that, and they're doing a lot of pushback. But because Russia is one of the biggest oil producers in the world, but essentially Tesla also just bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So they're a company that has, some very strong market fundamentals as far as they're in a sector that's projected to do one of the best like in the entire economy. And then on top of that, like with not only electric vehicles, but they're also very big into self-driving vehicles, which is absolutely huge. And then they're working on even bigger things like car batteries, like that new technology goes into like cell phones, and they might be getting into like Bitcoin mining. And so if you're in Bitcoin, like, and you're interested in Bitcoin, like Tesla is not a bad stock. Now, personally, I would rather buy Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that than Tesla. I think it will perform a lot better. But if you want to get into stocks, and I have a small, very small percentage of stocks, Tesla's not looking bad at all. Because then, you have exposure to that car company if, potentially stocks were to do bad. Or if crypto was to do bad, which I don't think that's going to be the case, but it gives you more risk, but it also gives you more reward. or it gives you less risk and it gives you less reward, but you get less risk because now you potentially. So I'm looking it up on Binance, like literally my Binance account, and I don't see it on my Binance account either. So let me see if I can turn down the brightness so that you can see that. I typed it in both ways. I typed it in INR, and then I also typed it in.
All right here, yeah. So I mean, I can't, I don't know. But Tesla, and then I'm huge on Google. Why? Google, obviously, AI technology, which is absolutely massive. Self-driving cars, Google's working on that. And even if the entire economy collapses, there's still going to be the internet, even if they shut it down temporarily, which Tesla and Bitcoin seem to have high correlation. Potentially, nah, man. Thanks. I really appreciate you taking the time. Absolutely, I really want to help. It's just, I just don't think I can.
Um, but yeah, I like Tesla a lot. I like, because they got Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And so what I did is I had micro strategies and I was up 500% on micro strategies. And I took my micro strategies profits and I put it into Tesla. I thought that was a pretty solid move. And then as we start going into more so the bear market, I'm going to be using Market Cipher on Google stock, and I'm going to be cost-based averaging out of when we hit the top of Bitcoin, when we hit the top of Ethereum, and you guys know I'm not selling my Cardano, so not this bull run. I'll start using it as passive income on the next bull run. So I'll start selling my interest that I'm making on it in the next bull run. But as we're cost based averaging out of part of our, I'm not selling all my Bitcoin either because I got it at like stupid cheap prices. So as we're cost based averaging, selling a little bit of our Bitcoin because we don't want to just hit the top and then have all our profits crashing down. So I'm taking out 50% of my position between 100,000. Like I actually have a chart. I actually want to show you this chart because I think it's absolutely monumental. Let me pull this out for you guys. I'm gonna give you guys my exact strategy that I'm using. This is not financial advice, but I actually bought a ton of Bitcoin around 10,000, and I called that it was going to go to 100,000 like way back, and on multiple different social media platforms. And essentially, like I haven't sold a penny yet. So this is my cost-based strategy coming from somebody that's actually like knows what they're talking about. I bought 100,000, or I bought 10,000. I have way more than 10,000 in Bitcoin. I bought at 10,000 per Bitcoin, and I've held this entire time. And this is kind of my strategy. This is an extremely conservative strategy. Just remember that. This is extremely conservative. But essentially, I'm looking at, for the first wave, essentially pulling out 10% at these levels. So 74, 86, and 94. Now you have to remember, I haven't sold one penny. I got in at 10K, and I'm not selling a penny until at least 74K. And let me explain why 74K I'm selling 3% of my portfolio. Because essentially everybody thinks it's going to at least hit 100,000, and if everybody thinks it's going to hit at least 100,000, if it actually hits 100,000, a lot of people are potentially going to sell. You know what I'm saying? And so most people are thinking that I should probably get out at 80 or 90. You know what I'm saying? And so essentially 74 guarantees that I don't miss the bottom. Like I said, it's very conservative, but it's incredibly brilliant. So that's just the beginning. So essentially, before we hit 100K, I'm taking out 10% to guarantee the top. That's a really good strategy, not financial advice. And then this is my next part of the strategy. So essentially 110, 120, 140, 160, 2%, all the way up until 180. So that's 20% so I'll have 20% out, taking profits. Bitcoin, but BitBoy thinks it's going to hit 20.
20 220 or 30,000, something like that. So before even BitBoy's prediction, like before even like what he thinks as a conservative top, even what he thinks as a conservative top, we'll already have 20% out. And then I have it cost based averaged out to basically 8% every 100K, and we'll cost based average that out. So like maybe 200, like 1%, maybe 210, whatever. It just depends on the charts. But and that's really like why we have this channel, so that we will cost based average out correctly. But and that goes all the way up to 1 million, because essentially like the chances of it hitting 1 million in this cycle are next to impossible. But if it does hit it, then we don't sell ourselves short, and we can sell at the absolute top, and we make sure that we're selling at the absolute bottom. And what happens if if the price goes to 200,000 and we only sell potentially 30% of our portfolio? I have no problem holding to the next bull market, because I know it's going to go up even quicker the next time, if that is the case. Okay, hey man, can you check out? Yeah, let me check her out. I'm just lagging, so it'll just be a second. Alright, I'm getting her pulled up right now. Alright, cool. Sorry about the connection. We're good. I lagged out like crazy. I think we're good now. So SC. I'm typing her in right now, and then I'll put her on the screen. And then tether? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Let's take a look at her.
First screen. So, just full disclosure, I don't know the fundamentals behind this project, so um, maybe I do if I know the name of it, but based off the ticker symbol, I don't. But let's take a look at these momentum waves. So I'm going to be giving you the TA. I'm going to be giving you the technical analysis behind this token. Not necessarily do I think it's going to go up or down, just what the technical analysis is saying. Oh, nice. Yeah. So I really like this momentum wave is looking really good. This is bullish right here for sure. On that momentum wave, let's take a look at money flow oscillator. We got to go down in time frames. But on the 4 hour on these momentum waves, it's looking hot. Let's see. We're going to go down to 30-minute. That should be pretty good. Yeah, 30-minute. And then we're going to take a look at the money flow. Money momentum oscillator. Money momentum oscillator clipping off. That's not what I want to see. I obviously want to see a clip. I want to see more of this. I obviously want to see more volume. As far as fundamentals go, we're going to have to hit it with a fib real quick. So Fibonacci. Look at all these fun tools that we use on the channel. So definitely freaking sub if you're at all interested. I kill the freaking tech with like fib channels, and I can do that stuff on this, and I think I will. So we're going to do that right there. So let me show you how you use these puppies. So there you go. That's potentially the level that we could potentially retrace to before bouncing. Let's get some moving averages on there. We don't have time. Let's get this guy going, and then we'll hit up the moving averages. Fib wedge. I like the fib wedge a lot. What do? Swing high? What do they say? Swing high? To swing low. So that only counts if you're doing Fibonacci. I mean, we can do it off that, but really, when you're learning Elliott wave patterns, what they'll show you. Gorgeous. We're gonna hit it the other way. So delete that fib wedge. Are we just lagging? Why is it not deleting? Crap. Okay, we're gonna get this. We'll do another fib wedge. I think we're lagging massively. So yeah, we're definitely lagging. I'm gonna turn down the resolution a little bit. That should fix it, and then I'll go over it. So
Settings, video. Oh crap, you can't do it while you're in here. We're streaming at like the highest
possible settings. So essentially, I think we're just lagging right now. But you'd put a fib wedge on top of it. Jeez. That's just dirty how much we're lagging. Yeah, you can't do anything. Yeah, we're lagging like crazy. Come on the stream later if you're interested, and I'll hit it later. It just looks like I literally can't do anything right now. We're just lagging way too hard. I'll be on later. I'm just going to type in the chat that I'm really lagging and that I'll be on later. Alright, I'll just give that a few seconds to go through. I mean, unless I can hit this out real quick, it just looks like I'm hitting the delete button on here. It's not letting me draw the fib wedge. It's not letting me do anything, so I gotta end the stream. I'll be on later. It should be better later for sure. This happens usually when I stream a lot. It takes a lot of Wi-Fi. So, but be on later.